Hey there, English expanders. Welcome to another episode of Expand Your English. Today is the 21st episode, and I'm so happy to have you here because from today on, I'm starting a new project. Every week, when I have time for that, I'm going to introduce you to a speaking test topic. A topic that you are not really fond of, that you think is not your favorite. Today we are going to talk about a topic which almost every language exam has here in Hungary. Is the EU, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and the USA. So mainly some English-speaking countries with the mixture of the European Union. Today we are going to talk about this one, but before that, let me welcome my most loyal viewer. Hello, Heini. Nice to have you here. I'm so happy that you can watch me today. All right. You know that every session starts with the question of the day. And today my question is, which topic are you the most afraid of when it comes to the speaking test? A lot of people are afraid of this topic, the EU, the UK, the USA, and others are more afraid of the topic of environmental protection. And the reason why I think students are afraid of these topics is because they don't know what to talk about, or the other edge is that they are over-prepared. I mean, they are talking about monarchies and political parties and political systems. For example, when they talk about the UK, or they talk about the presidential elections when they talk about the USA. The case is very simple. This is my sentence. Keep it simple. You would think that now I'm presenting you the topic with the EU, UK, and the USA, and you would say, okay, but everybody knows that. Yes, it's sure. Everybody knows that. But you can keep it simple and present it to the examiners. I hope you will not need this topic on your language exam, but yeah, let's talk about it. But before that, please drop me a hi, or say that, hello, I'm here from, I don't know, Keszthely, Sopron, Zamádi, wherever you are. Please drop me a line. Where are you watching from? I'm really interested. And also, write down in the comments below what is the topic that scares you the most? Okay, so hello, Heini. Nice to have you here, and all the others who are here, but I can't see your names, so please drop me a line. Who is watching right now live? Okay, for me, the most scary, the scariest topic for me was, I think, environmental protection. And it was the most difficult for me because I have never understood the greenhouse effect and global warming. I didn't know why it's happening. You know, teachers try to explain it to me in Hungarian with a lot of scientific vocabulary. I was too afraid of it. And then 10 years after my exam, when I started teaching this topic for teenagers, I realized that this topic is so easy to talk about. I broke them down into little stages, and I also understood the process, and global warming and the greenhouse effect process can be understood in just a few sentences. Maybe next time I'm going to present to you this topic. So, who is here? Please put up your hands in the comments, right? I want to see you. Heini is here. Hello, Heini. Nice to have you here. Arpad is here. I'm so happy to see you. Hello, how are you? Long time no see. And Heine comments that the most difficult topics are business, money, and government. But I guess, Heine, business and money and government topics are for the C1 level. I guess in B2 level, you don't need them. I know that at C1, money plays a really important part in that exam, but not in B2. So let's see what are the most basic things, the most basic information that you need for the topic of the European Union, the UK, and the USA. So let's start with the European Union. Believe it or not, the European Union has 28 member states. The EU is a political and economical organization that encourages trade and friendship between member countries. The EU has delivered stability in Europe. I think you can say it. The EU has delivered stability in Europe, helped raise the citizens' living standards, launched the European currency, the euro, and is building a Europe-wide free market for goods and services. So stability in Europe helped raise the citizens' standard of living, launched the euro, and is building a Europe-wide free market for goods and services. The EU also represents the interests of the member states on the international front. It's not that difficult, is it? The European Union is an example of the globalization movement. Hungary joined the European Union in 2004. It was a political decision, but it was also widely supported by Hungarian citizens. Okay, and so you also need to talk about EU global knowledge about the EU, and also EU and Hungary. So you need to memorize one date. It's 2004 when Hungary joined the European Union. And let's talk about the EU and Hungary in a very, very general platform. No political issues attached. Okay, so don't go deeper than this. It was a political decision back in 2004, but it was also widely supported by Hungarian citizens. Joining the EU has brought a lot of changes to Hungary, and it helped in developing the country. Lots of new buildings has been built thanks to the European Union, lots of new roads and motorways. So all in all, it was, what do you think? All in all, it was a good decision. So according to people in Hungary. So this is all that you need to know about the EU. 28 member states, and what is it all about? As I told you, that it helped raise the citizens' standard of living, delivered stability to Europe, and launched the euro, the global currency in the European Union, or in most of the countries of it. And it supports or is building a free market for goods and services. And Hungary has joined it in 2004, and it has brought a lot of changes to Hungary since then. Let's jump to the UK, and before that, let's do a little quiz. Can you please list the very, very popular English-speaking countries in the comments below. So please list those countries where the mother tongue is English, the official language is English. You wouldn't believe how many there are. Until then, let's look at the comments. And Hoinalka says, I can't speak about art and I don't like the media related topics. I know why, because you never watch TV, right? And you're not interested in the lives of the famous people. I can fully understand you. Okay, it's been a season of illnesses, so excuse me. All right, now I'm okay. All right. So, which are the traditional English-speaking countries? English-speaking countries are where the official language is English. So, it's the UK, Ireland, the United States, Canada, Australia, and South Africa. Yes, and also New Zealand. You're right. You did a good job. Okay, so let's talk about the UK. Did you know that the UK, the United Kingdom, has a population of 57 million? London is the capital of the UK, and they speak English and Welsh there. The currency, so the money, is pound sterling. So the official name of the money is pound sterling. Great Britain is England, Scotland, and Wales, but it's often used to include Northern Ireland. The Republic of Ireland is independent of the UK. This is very, very important to know. Northern Ireland is in the UK, but Ireland is not. So let's start with Scotland, which is part of the UK, and 5 million people live there. Edinburgh is the capital city. Edinburgh is the capital city, but Glasgow is the main industrial and commercial city. Now, if you want to go deeper into the Scottish culture and politics, you can, but this is perfectly enough in the speaking test. You should know that 5 million people live in Scotland, and Edinburgh is the capital. Glasgow is another very, very popular city. And when you want to add something to this, add your own personal feelings. I'd love to visit Scotland, especially Glasgow, because the nightclubs are really, or the club culture is really, really interesting for me there, as they have lots of good techno parties going on in Glasgow. Or I'd like to visit Scotland because I think Loch Ness is the most mysterious place on earth. I want to meet the Loch Ness monster, also called Nessie. So this is how you can connect the given country to your life. And this is a skill that you need to practice a lot, how to connect the topic to your life. Now, with Wales, you will do the job. So let's talk about Wales before we move on. Yeah, let's talk about Wales. And you should know that 3 million people live in Wales, and Cardiff is the capital city of Wales. And there is a Welsh language, which is completely different than English. And Welsh folklore and English, the language strengthen each other. You should know that Welsh people are really, really proud of their culture, and the Welsh language is so much different that they also have a word which is not that long, but this long. Okay, I think the longest word on earth comes from Welsh, actually. Okay, hello Attila, nice to have you here. Which English speaking country have you ever been to? Please write them in the comments below. Have you ever been to Wales or Scotland? Or why would you like to visit Wales? Because of I don't know anything about Welsh culture, which I could tell you right now. But if I was on the language exam and I got the question, what would you visit in Wales? I would definitely say the first word that comes to my mind, which is I would love to see the Welsh football team playing with Gareth Bale, the most famous Welsh person. Or there is also a Welsh actress. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones comes from Wales, maybe. I'm not sure. I need to check it. Okay, so from Scotland to Wales to Northern Ireland is a land of lakes, rivers, and sea coasts. It's a great place for outdoor sports, actually. The country's capital is Belfast, and Northern Ireland has a population of 2 million people. This is what you need to know. Right. Why would you like to visit Northern Ireland? Because you would love to see the beautiful green grass over the fields, and you want to experience the western part of Europe. I would say that. Okay, and now let's jump to England, which is the largest country in Great Britain and the UK. And it's really, really interesting that nearly 84% of population of the UK lives there. Okay, around 50 million people, that is, they live in England, mainly in the major cities and metropolitan areas. England hasn't had a separate political identity since 1707, when Great Britain was established as a political entity. This means that there is no government or parliament just for England, but they are together as the UK. England is often divided into three parts: the North, the Midlands, and the South. And yes, you can go on talking about the South and the North. The main difference is like the difference between Pest and Buda. The south of England is mostly flat or low-lying, with some hills and agricultural land, and the north of England is mostly covered in moorland and mountains. You should know that London is also the capital of England, and some of the main cities are Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, and Sheffield. Did you know all of that? Of course you did. We just put them into complete sentences that you can study, and maybe there was some new information for you, but I'm sure you knew all of that. And yeah, have you ever been to any parts of the UK? Tell me in the comments below. We are really interested. Right, we can see that Hoinaka says that Welsh language sounds funny, and that's completely true. Yes, for me it's also funny, and you can watch some YouTube videos where, yeah, where people speak Welsh. It's like a totally, like aliens speaking. It's also, yeah, really, really strange for my ears. And what you also need to know that Great Britain has a rich culture, of course you know that, and the country proudly supports its traditions. The Queen now embodies these traditions, and the majority of Britain supports and loves her. You know that Prince Harry has just married in the summer. He married an American actress, Meghan Markle. Maybe you can talk about this one as well if you're interested in that. And you also know that Prince Harry and his wife are expecting their first baby now in December of 2018. And you also might know that Prince William and his wife, the princess, have 3 children now. They are super cute. I love them, and I love watching pictures of them. Okay, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, it's a decision of yours. In 2016, people of Britain voted for the exit of Britain from the European Union. This is called the Brexit. Britain exit Brexit. Okay, so this is what you need to know about the UK. Of course, you can talk about cultural, sports topics if you are really interested in them. And only you need to get the skill, or you need to practice the skill of, you know, driving the conversation in the way you want to. All right. So if you get, for example, in the picture description task, if you get a picture of, I don't know, the Buckingham Palace in the background and tourists are doing something in the foreground, and maybe the examiner asks you some questions about the date when the Buckingham Palace was built, you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not, all right, or history is not my cup of tea, but I would love to visit this place because it looks wonderful to me. Yeah. The main idea is when you get a question about information with the UK or the EU or the USA, the first thing to do is not to panic, okay? Don't close your brain because you don't know anything about them. And please don't close your brain because you panic that you haven't learned anything about these countries. But try to turn the conversation in a direction where you feel more comfortable. And I guess if you get a question about the USA, now you can talk much more because the American culture and the American pop culture is all over the media. Although Hoini is not really interested in media topics, but of course this is a country that we know a lot about. The USA, let's talk about it for a really, really short time because we are out of time and I talked a lot again. The USA is a nation of immigrants. The majority of people now living in the US come from other countries with widely differing languages, cultures, and traditions. However, nowadays Americans largely share one language, American, and also Spanish, some places, and basic values such as freedom and individualism. Okay, Americans mostly believe that everyone has the right to be treated equally, and they also believe in the American dream. I'm really sure you have heard about this American dream, but if you are younger and without any experience, you don't know what it means. Now I'm going to tell you what the American dream is. The American dream is that by working hard, you can go from being really, really poor to really rich. This is the American dream. All right. And, yeah, I hope I haven't forgotten that, yeah, nowadays 2,027 million people live in the USA and it has got 50 states. The capital is Washington, D.C., but the most important city is New York. Although New York is not the capital of the US, it's the most interesting and the most talked about and probably the most exciting city in the country. The USA and New York also is a melting pot of immigrants. Melting pot is a really important word when it comes to talking about the USA. Melting pot means immigrants come and they form a multinational society together. So this was the EU, the UK, and the USA. I only said two facts with each, I guess, with each country or countries, how many people live there, and yeah, what language this, yeah, not what language they speak there because they speak English there, but what's the capital city of it. This is what you need to study because this shows that you have an interest in that country. Okay, so please don't panic when you need to, when you think you need to memorize facts. No, the English speaking test is not about learning facts by heart, but it's about how you can relate the given topic to yourself. If you need to talk about Northern Ireland and you don't and you can't talk about anything, then you just pull out that the capital city is Belfast and why you would love to visit Belfast so much because you heard that the Irish people are so friendly and you want to meet them. Or if you don't know anything about Scotland, but the first thing that comes to your mind is the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie, then you can talk about this. Oh, you want to visit Scotland so badly because you want to meet the Loch Ness Monster. Or if you don't know anything about the USA and you don't want to talk about politics like the president now is Donald Trump, and you like him or don't like him, then talk about why you would love to visit Los Angeles, California, or New York, or Las Vegas, or the cities that you have heard so much about in the news or in films. So that was for now, for today, and I'd love to take a look at the comments. And Hoinaka said, Heini, don't make me blush, please. She said, I love all your videos, but this is your most useful live ever. And I will go live more and more with topics for the exam, okay? I hope I could relieve the stress that you feel when it comes to this topic, when you need to talk about the English-speaking countries or the European Union. And yeah, listen to this live once or twice and you will memorize all the facts that you need. And if you want to memorize some more things about the language exam and you want to get more professional tips, visit my blog, blog.englishexpander.net, and there you can find, I don't know, lots of useful information, lots of useful articles, videos about the speaking test, because I love that my students can take the speaking test with ease. And I hope, Hoinaka, soon you will also go for your language exam. Until then, have a wonderful snowy afternoon. Go out and enjoy the snow as long as you can. And see you next week. Please don't forget to vote for the next topic. And yeah, what should be the next week's topic? Should it be, I think, services or the environmental protection? All right, go to my English Expander group and post your comments under the post. Thank you very much for being here. See you next time. Expand Your English, episode 21 is over, and study the topics. Bye then.